right, guys. Before I get to this last segment, be sure to hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm, guys. It does. It helps us out a lot. So, like the video. Subscribe to the ATP Network channel on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I mean, what are you doing with your life? We got Liz, aka Ty Peasant. She gonna be on there more in the future. And we got Michael, aka Left Independent. Like he bring great analysis. He's a better talking to me. Like I know I sound weird as fuck. I'm sorry about that. Once they get their once they get their feet on their feet and start making more content, you'll see less of me. So when you like that video, when you hit the like button, all that come to fruition. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm not surprised by this. This is from that Bad Faith podcast. It says Columbia student gets death threats for protesting Gaza genocide. And also, too, y'all, the reason why this person is wearing a mask is because of identity reasons, obviously. So, I don't blame this person at all. Because look what they did to Mahmoud Khalil. So, you know, hey, they coming after people with green cards. They could come after my ass because I talk a lot about, um, how fucked up Israel is in unaliving so many women and children. So, all right, I'm finna play this. Here we go.
There are, this is dying down in any kind of way? Do you feel like there has been a difference between the character of the protest before and after Trump's election, as so many liberals have claimed to be the case? What does it look like on your end?
I would still say, so people are still showing up to protests, but I would say a lot of like the international students are scared to show up to protests. And when people show up to
Yeah.
protests, they show up in a mask, they show up in a keffiyeh, they try not to show up in ways that could identify them. And that has been used against protesters. Oh, they're wearing masks, they're wearing keffiyehs, they don't want to be identified. Um,
I mean, the people are saying that. Obviously that's the point. Like facial recognition. Police use drones, and drones could pick up people's faces and it could identify people. So that's why you're told when you go to a protest you're supposed to wear a mask or wear a keffiyeh and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be known. so yeah, and that's another reason too why they have these notorious mask bans in some of these states as well. So let her continue.
and it's like, hey, that's Islamophobic. Like saying, like making a big deal that people want to cover their hair. If somebody wants to cover their hair, that's their business. And also, like, can you blame people for like wanting to hide their identity when there are such violent consequences in place? Also, like I would say a lot of this, I would say, like people really, really support Palestine on campus. People really, really care about Palestine. And that's why they're cracking down so hard. And I would say a lot of these actions from Zionists, truthfully, they've backfired because it showed their true character. If you were quote unquote unsafe on campus, why are you following someone around with a camera and saying death threats to them? That's something that's happened to students. They will openly.
Wow. Wow. See, you notice that, like, so, that right there should get them kicked off the campus saying death threats to people, right? I said kicked off of campus. I don't like death threats, like recording people that are pro Palestine because they have a heart. They have a heart in their chest. See, Zionists don't have a fucking heart, so they don't give a shit. Um, and also too, these Zionists been harassing these pro-Palestine protesters too, which I'm pretty sure they don't go to jail, but people that support at these pro-Palestine protests, the ones that actually have a heart, like I said, they get jailed. See what I'm saying? All right, guys, back to the video.
Threaten you and follow you around with a camera, but if you say anything back, somehow you are the terrorist, you are the violent person.
See?
And it's really, I think, when it comes to Columbia, when it comes to these other schools, I think that when it comes to support for Palestine, we're going to see the effects of this like 10, 15, 20 years from now. That's why they're so focused on Columbia, because Columbia, like it or not, that's where the future policymakers are going to school. That's where the future leaders are going to school. And Zionists think that if they just crack down hard enough, if they just crack down hard enough, that will get people to stop supporting Palestine. But I would say, if anything, it's done.
Yeah, like the more you push people, the more harder they go. So basically, like she said, like yeah, you're making people protest more. You're making a fool out of yourself. Like, see, the crazy thing about history is like these Zionists and all these other pieces of crap that don't that talk that they are evil. Like they gonna be on the wrong side of history. Like Israel's like what you doing is you trying to hurt the people that are doing on the right side of history, but you on the wrong side of history. See what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, that's crazy. See, like she said too. Like I think about that too. Like a Zionist online, for example, could call me out my name, call me the N word, call me ugly, call me fat, call me stupid. They love the R word too. Zionists love the R word. Um, you know. But if I call them a name, I'm the one that could get suspended. I'm the one that get my account limited for 12 hours. Like, see, shit like that. Like, we obviously know that Twitter/X is a pro Zionist site. So I mean, I'm not surprised about that. And especially these universities like Columbia and shit like that too. Like, don't they support Israel too? So yeah, that's why all this shit's happening.
The exact opposite, because people who traditionally wouldn't be interested in Palestine or concerned with Palestine, they are seeing their friends, they are seeing their family members, they are seeing their classmates brutalized and treated horribly for standing up for what they believe in. And the other thing too is that like Colombia has a history of protests. It markets itself as the protest ivy. They make a really big deal about the 1968 protests where students occupied multiple buildings. None of those students were expelled. Yet multiple students were expelled for the occupation of Hamilton Hall, renamed as Hins Hall. One of those students was Jewish. They expelled a Jewish student, the leader of the graduate student union, a Jewish student studying Jewish literature, to get rid of anti-Semitism on campus. And it's like, how does expelling a Jewish student get rid of anti-Semitism? It's disingenuous, and they know it. They know it's disingenuous.
See, they know that what people are protesting for is not anti-Semitic. They know they know it's not anti-Semitic. See that's a way of them saying that that's a way of them to detract you for protesting. So they anti-Semitic. That's hurting the Jewish population, even though there are Jews that know that genocide is bad, so they are protest. They using their constitutional right. But yeah, man, let me continue. We ain't got much longer here.
But they can't win the argument on substance or rhetoric. So what they're doing instead is engaging in a brutal crackdown and hoping that that will stop the movement. But what happens is that repression backfires. It always does. And I know that even though this is really hard right now, I know that Colombia is going to divest. I know that we're going to see a free Palestine. I know it because we have so many people who really care about Palestine, who really care about making the world a better place. And I will say that I have been blessed to meet so many wonderful people, people that I wouldn't meet otherwise, because I've attended a protest, because I've gotten to engage with other Palestinian students on campus. And I feel like in a few years from now, even though like people are villainizing us right now.
So I got a question. Like, obviously it's Palestinian students on campus too, seeing that that people are getting massacred over there in Gaza. So basically, according to some of these people's rhetoric, that those people are anti-Semitic too. I mean, I'm just saying, are they? I mean, how can you? Let me continue.
now and demonizing us, I feel like in a few years, Colombia's going to look back and be like, man, what were we doing? What were we thinking?
I hope you're right. I mean, last year.
All right, so I'm gonna end it right there. Y'all can watch it yourself. It's on YouTube. It's just like a 26-minute clip. Um, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I really do hope that these universities divest from Israel like they should. I mean, I mean, yeah, like she said towards the end, like yeah, Columbia and these other universities need to look back and saying like, damn, we gave these kids a hard time. We allowed the cops to brutalize these kids, and these kids weren't even these college kids weren't even they weren't even doing nothing malicious. They're just doing their constitutional right. Like you get brutalized for doing your using your constitutional right. Now they had pro Israel protests. I'm pretty sure cops weren't brutalizing them.